Welcome to WeJustHeard.com, 1230, Jonesboro, Georgia. How's everybody doing? You're listening to WeJustHeard.com. I am Nino. Hot 92.7. So, a lot of things going on. We just heard Little Richard dead at 87 with unknown causes. I can't wait to see what this is about. Hopefully it wasn't anything like drugs or anything or overdose. I mean, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. But at 87, wow, I got a little story actually to tell about Little Richard. Man, I was an engineer. I am an engineer, but at this time I was an engineer for Pastor Troy. And we had flown to California, and this was for the Triple X movie. We was doing the soundtrack. We were shooting the video. Are We Cutting with produced by Timbaland, and it had featured Miss Jade. If y'all want to go on YouTube and watch it, that's Are We Cutting, Pastor Troy. We're at the hotel. Across the hall is Little Richard. We go over to his room and man, he was just like what you thought. I mean, I'm sure he was a little bit stunned because he just sees, you know what I'm saying? It was Pastor Troy, Little Pete, and myself. We just, walked up into his room. He was probably a little bit stunned, but didn't know what was going on. But he had known Troy or recognized, you know what I'm saying? And the whole shut up. I didn't understand it at the time. It was something, it was like in living color. It was like, shut up, whenever he would do the shut up in living color. And man, you know what? Actually, now that I think about it, the first thing he turned to was the Bible. And if I remember correctly, he said, man, love your mothers. I never would have even had thought about that until now. Huh. Anyway, Hot 97 has The Breakfast Club. And The Breakfast Club is a Charlamagne the God, if you don't know, Envy, and Angela Yee. The Breakfast Club in the mornings. Y'all should check them out, you know what I mean? Monday through Friday, little cross promotion there. Man, I really am. If y'all have anything to say about Little Richard's death, chime in, text in. It's crazy. You just never know how you come across people, and I'm sure he never gave it a second thought, but it's just crazy, man. I've had a lot of things like that, especially, as an engineer. Jam Master Jay was another one that passed away shortly after I had met him. We had went back to his studio after a club gig up in New York, and this is crazy because at the time it's like Southern music wasn't even, but wasn't even New York just wasn't listening to like the South like that, Troy ends up north in New York at this club. I forgot the name of the club. We head back to Jam Master Jay's studio, and it's crazy. Like 2 weeks after that, boom. Tomorrow's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day to my mother. May she know she's partying in heaven looking down. Hot 92.7, we just heard. You know who else had passed away? Sigmund, is it the Lions? Roy. I had just read about it last night. Here, let me go to Midtown Media Group webpage to get the right details on that one, because even though I know them, sometimes my Puerto Ricanness accent gets in the way of these names. Roy Horn, not that was hard, but for some reason I wanted to say Sigmund and Freud. Roy Horn of Siegfried and Roy. Now he passes away from COVID-19. That's another COVID-19 celebrity. It gets kind of serious when celebrities are dying of the same thing. Could you imagine? It's almost like the 80s and when the HIV virus first started coming through. I wonder if we would have taken the same precaution then as we did with this virus. Could we have prevented a lot more HIV? But wow, another COVID-19 death. Crazy. That is crazy. So, what else could we talk about here? What we just heard. Let me see what else we just heard. It's Saturday, guys. 159 years ago. Let's see what's going on here. 159 years ago, in 1861, Arkansas seceded from the Union. For some reason, we let them back in. Can you imagine if we didn't? Bill Clinton would never have been president. And if it didn't happen, and if that didn't happen, maybe we'd have never heard of Hillary either. 143 years ago, in 1877, Crazy Horse gave up his struggle to keep his land and surrendered to the white man along with 1,100 other cold, starving Indians. The chief Fogalasui, the chief. Hey man, I'm got to thinking, where you gotta fight for your land. I wonder if all the Indians would get together and try to fight back for their land. Oh my God, could you imagine slaughtered? Man, he had been aggressively pursued by the U.S. forces for his part in Custer's last stand in the summer of 1876. We have a suspicion that one of the terms of Crazy Horse's surrender was, from this day forward, half of the strip clubs in this country will bear my name. Although we can't confirm that last part with historians, we have our suspicions. 83 years ago, in 1937, the Hindenburg disaster occurred in New Jersey as it flew over Lakehurst Naval Air Station. The hydrogen-filled German blimp called the Hindenburg crashed and burned, killing 36 people. I remember seeing pictures. You guys remember seeing the black and white pictures? I hadn't seen that picture in a while. Growing up, I used to see that picture everywhere of the blimp. 1937. Oh, the humanity. The radio announcer who saw that thing crash. Oh, the humanity. Which went on to become one of the most famous quotes in America and American history. I don't know, I haven't heard that quote in a while. I really didn't hear the quote growing up. I guess for that time. 80 years ago in 1940, John Steinbeck won a Pulitzer Prize for Grapes of Wrath. Imagine. It's about a guy named Tom Joad who loses everything in the Great Depression and risks moving the Oklahoma Dust Bowl to California. The Oklahoma Dust Bowl. Should we look that up and see what the Oklahoma Dust Bowl is? Okay. So once again, 80 years ago, in 1940, John Steinbeck won a Pulitzer Prize for Grapes of Wrath. It's about a guy named Tom Joad who loses everything in the Great Depression and risks moving from the Oklahoma Dust Bowl. Oh, moving from the Oklahoma Dust Bowl to California. I thought it had some sports there to do for a second. Let me see. Let's look this up real quick. The Oklahoma Dust Bowl. The Dust Bowl of Oklahoma. A farmer and his sons walk in the dust. A farmer and his sons walked in a dust storm in Oklahoma in 1936. Enlarge this image. Listen to Miss Flora Robinson talk about the dust storms of Oklahoma, the Dust Bowl. The Dust Bowl was a period of severe dust storms that greatly damaged the ecology and agriculture of the American Canadian prairies during the 1930s. Severe droughts and failure to apply dryland farming methods to prevent the Aeolian process caused the phenomenon. Wow, y'all should see some of these images. Okay. Interesting. Okay, let's go. Some of the music that was inspired by Steinbeck's classic novel includes The Ghost of Tom Wood by Bruce Springsteen, The Dust Bowl Dance by Mumford & Sons, and Grains of Wrath by Bad Religion. Some of the music that was inspired by Steinbeck, huh? The Ghost of Tom Wood. Interesting. Tom Joad. I keep saying Wood. Oh, the name of the song, The Ghost of Tom Wood by Bruce Springsteen, huh? Interesting. 79 years ago in 1941, Bob Hope performed his first USO show for troops at California's Marchfield. He'd end up performing hundreds more for troops in World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, and the First Iraq War. 60 years ago, in 1954, at a track meet in Oxford, England, medical student Roger Bannister became the first man to break the 4-minute mile. That was considered a miraculous human feat, and not just because he was white. The current world record was set in 1999 by a runner named Hikam El Guresh. If I'm saying that wrong, y'all correct me somewhere. From Morocco, he ran a mile in 3 minutes, 43 seconds. Wow, a mile in 3 minutes. A mile in 3 minutes? It takes me an hour to walk. I wouldn't make it. A mile in 3 minutes. Could you imagine just a mile be there in 3 minutes?